This is day 26 of Building a Business from Scratch in 30 Days, the series where I'll show you step by step how I built all the foundations of my business so you can do it too. Yesterday we talked about how to handle some common objections. Today we're talking about how to price your products and services. Let me start by saying there is no universal rule for pricing. Your rates will depend on your niche, your location, what you do, who you're working with, and how good you are. There's not a one size fits all, but there are a few methods you can use to figure out what to charge. Before we talk about the methods, here are some principles you should be aware of. First, your price should be fair for both you and your client. Overcharging is bad, and undercharging is worse. You should always aim to deliver more value than what you're charging, but don't shortchange yourself either. Second, it's safer to have multiple smaller paying clients than a few big ones. If 80% of your income comes from one single client and they leave, you're fucked. Having 5 smaller paying clients is a lot more stable. Lastly, don't sell to brokies. Before you take on a client, make sure they have the capability and the willingness to pay. You don't want to have to chase invoices and work for people who ghost you when the bill comes. With those principles in mind, let's see how we can decide our price. The first method is to look at what your competitors charge and base it off that. This is not my favorite, because it can end up making you look commoditized. If you go with this method, what you could do is take the average of what your industry charges and increase it by 10 or 20%. Method 2 is to find out how much the problem you're solving costs your clients, or how much their results would go up and base it off that. For example, if you run paid ads and you can bring in $5,000 worth of sales, well, then charging $1,000 is more than fair. Method 3 is to estimate how many hours the project will take, then put a value on the hour that would make you happy. Sometimes you'll miscalculate how long the project takes, but it's all good. The last thing I want to mention is to never be the cheapest. There will always be a guy that's dumb enough to charge less. It just becomes a race to the bottom you'll never win. Today's action step is to pick a pricing model and decide what you'll charge. Don't be ashamed. Write it down and be ready to say it out loud with confidence. Tomorrow we'll talk about how to close the deal. Follow so you don't miss it.